Hello guys, and welcome back. Where we last left off, I made possibly the greatest or worst decision I've ever made, and that is probably true by enacting Initiative 17, something that I seem to struggle to say sometimes. So, where was I? Oh yeah, the captured tanks. Stolen from the Austrians, apparently. Did you know that, Germany... no, it wasn't Germany. Austria stole grain barges from Germany as well. In the middle of the war. It's like they was both starving because the British blockaded, like, all shipping to Germany, so they was starving, and, like, Romania was, like, one of the main suppliers of grain. It used to go down through, I think it was the Danube or the Rubicon, some river. They used to send, like, grain barges all the way to Germany, and then the Austrians hijacked it. And then the Germans was, like, as you can imagine, they was a bit angry. If you replace a bit with, I wish I could declare war on you, but I kinda need you right now. And then the Austrians was trying to secretly peace out and then attack Germany, or it was crazy. People was starving, but we don't have to worry about that because we're self-sufficient on just about everything. And you know, if I take Russia, maybe I'll take, I don't know if it exists yet, but I could take the Trans-Siberian Railway into China and Asia. And then I could expand the Evil Dutch Empire into Asia through a land route. Forget the Mongol Empire, we're going to create the greatest land empire ever created here. You know, I talked about maneuvering around and how I thought it was stupid. Yeah, forget that. Apparently. We're going to see how these tanks fare. As they shoot that shrub, and they probably shoot that hill. I don't know. Anyway, everyone fire at that tank. And everyone over here fire at that tank. Begin!
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
So honestly, I don't have... well, there's a ton of corpses here. I don't have much faith on, my newly found enemies to actually take me down. You know, I don't really expect much in the way of that happening. What I do expect is to have some sort of harassment going on for a long time. Scandinavia will have to be reconquered, so I'll have to go back through Denmark and then in Sweden and Norway again. Most of them will be odd results, you know. Can't show every single fight. I normally show the last fight of every nation, but when the nation is the last fight, I don't think I'll be showing most of them. I'll be showing a few of them, maybe the stronger holds, you know, I'll show the Battle of Brittany, because they've been, I think, my first protectorate that I've made. And, Scotland, I'll probably show that as well, so I can finally complete the conquest of the British Isles. Something I never completed, even though it was my original goal. Okay, you know what, I'm curious. Everyone cease fire. How is this gonna work? It's gonna be like the Japanese on, was it Okinawa? Or something, where they personally charged under the tanks with satchel charges strapped to their bodies and blew up under them. Except this time, we're not using satchel charges, we're using bayonets. And we have taken the tank. Wow, tanks are incredibly weak to melee charges, it seems. Good to know. Anyway, I will see you the results. Okay, so we lost 424 men, and they lost 1,846 men. Dresden is mine. Oh, I could make the Free State of Saxony Dresden. No! No more! I am, like, you can see it, I'm spilling in to Eastern Europe now, and now that's there, it looks great. I bet they was wondering, damn, we couldn't get to the, People's State of Hesse. Turn around, where'd that army go? Goes around here. Oh! The Dutch killed them. Good going, you on our side? No. Oh. Okay. Alsace-Lorraine's a bit vulnerable. I have to make a garrison here. Thankfully, I can. Make heavy howitzers, but I want light. In fact, before that, I should probably prioritize having some men. So simple recruits would do. You are tasked with going over there to take down the Austrian threat. And, yeah, I believe that'll do. Got my men, you know, freezing outside. And I'll need to make a sizable defense. Let's get the artillery made. Can't have a defense without artillery. It's just not the Dutch way. And, yeah, you can just sit by them, you know. Now we get to see what happens during the turns, and I will probably show you what happens during the turns. So hold on while I save, and let's begin. Okay, let's begin. Let's see the toll of Initiative 17. As soon as that man crosses over there. Okay, Austria-Hungary. Yep, I mean, they're still the enemy. There's no change there. Greece wants peace and is willing to pay for it. No. I think I gave you stuff as well. So Greece might be another problem. Ottoman Empire. I mean, did you really expect that to work? You got old riflemen and old conscripts, and you believe that's the army for you. Your own man who opted to join the evil Dutch Empire and become a general is gonna kill you. I lost 84 men, they lost over 1,000. Istanbul is mine. No problem there. Russia, I'm fully expecting an invasion. I mean, you have bigger fish. Well, you don't have any bigger fish to fry, but you have a small fish to fry and then a decently sized fish in the form of Austria. So, you know, you've still got something else to do. And we're kind of allies, because, I mean, I'm fighting all the people you was probably fighting. I mean, I did dishonor just about every sacred treaty I made. So, yeah, you know, I'm not that trustworthy. And they actually didn't do anything. And Dresden is under siege by 3 full-stack armies. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. I think that's most of the German armies just piled in at Dresden. Let's see. No, they still got about... I think that's about... I want to say a third of their total army is piled onto Dresden. Trade routes, path blocked, airplane, rebellion, Austria. Yep, fully expected that. There'll be you, revolutionaries, over there. Strike in Brandenburg. How about I just cut taxes and you will still hate me? Okay, so I guess we're gonna have somewhat of a problem there. And, yeah, no real anything came of that. Nothing. So, on to here. If this army can take down the army on their own, I'm fully happy for them to do that. Victory, awesome. Move in. Good. I couldn't have made, oh wait, I could have. Yeah, I could have made the Ring of Allies just around here if I took Northern Italy. Which would have been pretty to look at for a bit, but I do believe the full orange across the map will look much, much better. I still need to come up with, like, an evil Dutch flag. Speaking of which, that fanfiction that's being writ, the evil Dutch Empire is rising there as well. So if you want to go check that out, I probably will leave another link in the description. Yes, the evil Dutch Empire is rising there, and he's come up with a flag himself, like at least he described one. It's like, a white lion is the standard for my forces. I don't believe it'll be the standard here. I'll probably come up with something different if I do come up with anything. But it's good to know that there's an alternate evil Dutch Empire, you know, kicking around somewhere before World War I. And that they're doing me proud. But anyway, I will see what's going on. I need to get more... I'm making the modern force, so I need to start making some light howitzers again. I make him light because I really need mobility as well. So I'll take that with me. Croatia is still not a problem. Oh yeah, Istanbul! Probably gonna be stuck here for a while, honestly. Yep, we just killed over 1,000 people. Hey, we're back! So yeah, we're gonna take this army to Greece. You can kick back and be the ruler of Istanbul. I'm sure you can convince some people to not murder your head. Just your head. I mean, you can get an army... You can get everyone in one turn. You're set, man. You can make an army in one go. Anyway, I'm on to Greece. Still got the fleet, you know, I might just send them around here. There we go. So, Austria is hemmed in over here. Germany is facing its defeat with only 3 regions being squashed between both me and Russia. And Austria has seen the might of... Well, the eastern part of Austria, not just that part, has seen the might of the evil Dutch Empire and is slowly being surrounded from the south and the west. And the east by Russia. And everyone else is kind of very afraid, because they've already been conquered once, and they was lucky to be liberated the first time. And I don't think they should take it for granted that they was not going to be liberated again. Don't know what I was saying there, but yes, I am going to make some artillery here. And with the artillery being made there, I can go to Wales and make the actual force. We'll have the Welsh and the English working together to defeat the Scottish. Yeah, and that's so we made. Good job, keep going. So yeah, I believe that's all I can really do this turn. I have to make armies everywhere. How much money have I got? I'm actually making more money. I'm making more money as the war goes on. That's good. Don't want to go bankrupt. It's hard to find the unit I want. There it is. No real visual representation. Oh, wait, the Portuguese are invading! They're actually invading! My god! They're doing stuff! But yeah, I will see you after the turns. Okay, I know I shouldn't say anything, but honestly, Russia, this is your best time to join! The Germans are surrounded in my, like, you know, frontier areas here. And I am got a few problems with, like, small nations being within the empire that I need to deal with. So this is the best time for you, Russia. Anyway, I will see you on the battle map when I face not 1 stack, but 3.5 stacks of men. Yeah, see you then. Okay, so this is gonna be like the Dresden Offensive, right? Because there is no other name for this. At least not that my extremely creative mind can come up with. Because the Germans have thrown, like I said, about 1/3, if not 1/2, of their forces at this one battle. It's gotta be like the big Dresden Offensive, the one chance to throw me on the back foot, so they can get momentum back in their conquest. Because they've lost. They've been on the defensive this entire war. Just about. There's occasional dips where I'm trying to hold something and then they send an army. This is the big one. Let's see if they can do anything, because I might just run out of ammo and die here. And this is one of my major armies. In fact, this is the only real one I have actually in Germany. The other one's in Bavaria, trying to hold that position there. We will be going to Prague soon. And the other one in Berlin is kind of a mishmash of the leftovers of every nation I liberated. So, yeah, here's my defensive line, by the way. These are all the damaged ones on the left, like, packed together. For those that actually come over here. We're taking down the heavy field guns, thankfully. At least some of them are. If I get... I wish I had more artillery. Here we go. You must always focus on the artillery over here. And yeah, I'm gonna pretty much have to speed this up all the way through if I want to get through it before I, you know, die of old age. Oh, by the way, I got machine guns just, you know, hid there. So that's really good. I learned from the Austrians and the British. Very handy. Been using many tactics like ambushing and air superiority. Too bad it doesn't play a major part. Air power. Civilization, been getting into that recently again. I go in and out of Civilization, like I'm out of it for like months, and then I play like a week straight of like my empire. I'm trying to like conquer the world. Like I was playing Japan, and I had this one island, and I was like trying to hold it against like the massive Zulus who had, I think they had like battleships, as I was using frigates, and they had like World War II bombers and all that. Was like these triplanes from World War One. And I goddamn held. I lost the island for like 20 turns, sorry. And I had to retake it using like my terrible forces. I had like riflemen versus World War II infantry. But I managed to retake it after like blood and tears just poured in. As well as thousands upon thousands of cheap troops as I just summoned from the back end of my empire. And then I like retook the island, and forever it was like I had 0 planes versus there were endless swarms of bombers, but they couldn't invade my mainland because they had to take this one route. I mean, they could go from like the west straight to the east. It's hard to describe without seeing the map, but they could go straight from the west to the east. But even then, my cities in like the western coast was filled with like the walls, arsenals, castles. They had their own artillery pieces like lodged inside. It would be very hard to take, and I had like a rapid response unit. Because I had the content to myself, and that rarely happens. And I had like a massive response unit where I had like 2 artillery units and 3 Great War infantry that would just go anywhere where they landed and take them down.
Our men are running, sir.
Anyway, that is the end of this part. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Later, guys.